Good afternoon, friends, followers, channel members. How are we all? Nice afternoon flight today. Here in Bordeaux, weather's looking grand, and we're going down to Lisbon, where the weather is still looking rather grand. Good evening, Christian 1, Christian 2. You can fight over which order. Dark Fury, hello. Hope you've got a cup of tea on the go. Christian, did you say it's now the weekend? Is it your weekend? Great stuff. And welcome to everyone in the chat. So I'm just finishing getting set it up here, just as the ground crew are doing their business. All's looking well. Toby, it's 2 blinking car. I'm with you. I am with you. I'm not one of those that enjoys 30-degree heat. Unless I am sat by a pool, somebody else is looking after the kids, someone else is cooking for me, and someone else is plying me with alcohol. And as I say, there's a pool that I can just jump into for cooling down. Danny, did I say good evening? There's a chance. We're normally doing these in an evening, aren't we? But it's the middle of the afternoon. What is it? It's 20 to 3 p.m. here, local time, where I am in the UK. Vasco P. Lisbon is indeed beautiful. Looking forward to the approach. Runway 3, for anybody that knows the area. Runway 3 is planned. And we're departing on runway 05 here in Bordeaux. Chalty, good afternoon. Hope you're not working too hard. I always say that to you, don't you? And Nick Burrows is also here as well. Great stuff. Well, we're already connected up. GPU is connected, as you can see. We'll start getting passengers on board in a moment. We're going to get in. Aircraft's already in the turnaround state. We just need to have a little look at the OFP and some fuel. So I've popped the OFP, of course, into the YouTube chat if anyone wants to grab that. Willie Canuck, hello, 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 sir. Hope you're having a relaxing day. Hope it's not too hot up there in Scotland. I know how you Scottish don't deal with the heat. Ethan, it's torture for you. You work with transport and the aircon is broken on the bus and it's just pumping hot air. No, that sounds like hell on earth. Literally. The Exotic Melon on Twitch. Good afternoon to you as well. Night at night. Hi, just a quick question. Is anyone facing mismatch waypoints when entering airways? Yes. That's why I tend to get them from SimBrief. That way they're always correct. But I think Lisbon's got some pretty nice weather for us. So I'm just scouring through to see what have we got. Great visibility, 2,500 feet. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, ceiling visibility is okay. Wind might increase slightly, but 15 knots, nothing to concern ourselves with. Ethan, you've got 2 hours till you can get a new bus. Oh no, you're going to need a shower when you get home. The Exotic Melon, please can you tell me how I find out the barrow pressure of the airports that we're flying to? So we use the Live Meta. Oh, thank you so much, Alietta, for sharing. Great to have you sharing that on Facebook. Yeah, but essentially, weather there's looking great. So what we're going to do now is see what fuel we need. So the planned block fuel is 6.5 tons. Yeah, alright, well, 7 tons should be fine, shouldn't it? I don't see any problem with that. So if we take 7 tons of fuel on board, then I can't see us having any issues. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. And in real time, of course. So we're now refueling. I've just checked back in on the chat. Willie, what are you talking about? Oh, I see. Time to bring out the traditional kilt. Well, as long as you don't stand over a puddle. Okay, so we're refueling and engine fuel selectors are off. Seatbelt signs are off. That's all good. Current pressure 1014. Let's just double check. 1014. That is still correct. Anti-skid is fine. Let's just come down. We're on Unicom 121.5 on the guard. Switching is all fine. Thrust levers, engine masters, engine mode, spoilers, flaps, parking brake. Who's left that on? Turn that off. Well, it's 32 degrees in your room. Ouch. Do you know what? I bet it's not that far off that in here. To be fair, by the time we get to Lisbon, I bet it's going to be a lot warmer. 1014, that's fine. Flight directors 1 and 2 is on. Instrument panel, all fine. RS obviously already aligned. Outer tank fuel crossfeed valve, that should close once refueling is finished. Be nice to see if that actually happens. Simon, so thank you so much, Simon, for sharing that on Facebook as well. Big thank you to you for that. Right, passengers. Should we start getting some passengers on board? Christian, you've got a cozy 20 degrees. That sounds beautiful. So let's get the information from SimBrief. Atsu, AOC, init press. Flight time today, 1 hour 37 minutes. Currently refueling. AOC menu again and check. We've got a full load today. Looking at that. 180 passengers. Payload 18720. Let's just faff with the CFG, shall we? There we go. And let's load. Passenger weights now added to the aircraft. Christian Bell, if you import the payload from SimBrief within the McDo, as I have just done right now, the payload would not be transferred onto the weights and balance tab of Microsoft Flight Simulator. That is correct, it is not. The fuel does. Why you shouldn't touch the payload weights of the sim in this case? Basically, forget about the weights and balance page here. You can ignore that completely now. The FlyByWire team have rendered that useless. What you're interested in is when you're making sure you load it, that you're getting displayed the gross weight here. That's the important figure. That's the one you want. So, IRS 3.5 green, and making sure that the aircraft status is correct. Of course we know it is not. We do have the right engines, but we have an out-of-date direct cycle on board. Waffle, I'll definitely be back in 40 minutes. We'll probably just departed, so you'll not miss much. Okay, let's pull the information through from our headquarters. The alternate today is Lima Echo Zulu Lima. Lima Echo Zulu Lima. That's a bad alternate. That's not even the same country. Call sign Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Oh, I like that one. That rolls off the tongue quite nicely. Cost index of 8, flight level 350, minus 51. Oh, I wish. No, I don't. It's actually minus 48, so let's edit that. The tropopause, what we got on the tropo, is about 36,000 feet, so let's just edit that. There we go. So our flight plan then, departing, as I said a little bit earlier on, from runway 05, it's the VAVX 5 Quebec. VAVX 5 Quebec, insert, and planning to arrive runway 03, ILS 03, and that's on the Xona 8 Alpha. No veers. Okay. Insert. Distance 607 miles. I've got 605 on the flight plan. Great stuff. Dark Furies, anyone seen the Ryanair? Did you? Is this where you landed it? I think they've taken it away. Right. That's all now put in. Do I need to add anything to the RadNav page for this departure? We can pop in the ADF 393. I'll go through the departure briefing properly and show you the charts in a moment. That's all set. Init B page then, that's zero fuel weight to 59.7, zero fuel weight center of gravity. Trip wind today is a headwind of 6. I haven't been getting a lot of tailwinds recently. I must have been flying west. Headwind of 16. Fuel planning 6.1. We've got, or we should have when we finish, we're going to have 7 tons of fuel on board. Let's call it 6.9 tons, just to be safe. Takeoff weight 66.4, that's below the maximum landing weight, so good to know. And the alternate fuel required is around 1.7 tons. 51 minutes. That gives us an extra 16 minutes of flying time then. 16 minutes. Performance then, transition altitude here is 5,000 feet. Thrust reduction and acceleration is 1160, that is correct. However, the acceleration is 3160. So noise abatement 2, correction, noise abatement 1 departure today. Flaps 1, it's going to be a toga takeoff. Engine acceleration 1160, V2, VR 134, V1 133. FS and O speeds are all fine, there's no speed restrictions on our departure. So that's all okay. Alright, lovely. Let's do a brief whilst the rest of the passengers are getting on board. So we are currently parked at stand Alpha 8. Here we are. We're going to push back. We are going to face west. We're then going to taxi on to Echo 2 and then Papa. From Papa we will cross runway 29, which isn't actually used at the moment. It's been used. There's construction traffic all over it basically, so no need to worry about that. Taxi down via Papa. We'll hold at Delta. We can depart from Delta. We're doing a toga takeoff, so departing from Delta, no problems with that. The departure is nice and straightforward. So straight out to the BD NDB. Autopilot will be taking care of this, and then our initial climb clearance is flight level 70. So let's just go ahead and set that. I believe there's no air traffic control around us today, so sadly we are on our own. There's not even any other aircraft around, we're completely on our own. Not that Bordeaux's the busiest airport in the world, so there we go. Let's just get the constraints on. Refueling has now finished, so we've got the fuel pumps on. We'll get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. Seatbelt signs can come on as well. As a Toby barring self-loading cargo, the 320 from FlyByWire or any other mods being used. Aside from Pushback Helper and Pushback Toolbar, which is this nifty little thing up here. No. Aviation and Gaming. Welcome. Thanks to the guys liking on Facebook as well. Right, while that APU starts up then, let's do an emergency brief. So, as per usual, if we have any problems on the ground during the taxi, we'll stop the aircraft, tell air traffic control. If we have a serious issue like the fire, then we will let crew know. If it's only a minor issue, then we'll not bother the cabin crew. We'll just stop and tell air traffic control, and then depending on what the failure is, we'll look at the CRT and run any ECAM drills as necessary. On departure, obviously my takeoff, and if we have any problems or warnings before 100 knots, we will consider stopping. After 100 knots and up to V1, we will only stop for uninhibited ECAM warnings or cautions. An engine fire or failure with or without thrust loss, or if we think that the aircraft is completely unsafe to fly. If that is the case, and I do make the decision to stop, I will call out stop. We'll then go max reverse, keep the aircraft nice and straight on the runway. I can use manual brakings as well if I don't think auto brake is stopping as well as I think it should, and I will also attempt to point the aircraft into the wind if we've had a fire warning. Once we've come to a stop, we'll stow the reversers, set the parking brakes, and announce cabin crew attention to all stations. Then we'll just stop, take a breath, have a look at why we've stopped, and confirm any failures on the ECAM. Once we've established the cause of the failure, we can either complete the ECAM tasks, we can ask ATC to vacate the runway, or if it is more serious and looking likely that we want to get everyone out, we can consider running the emergency evacuation checklist. We need to be sure that we're going to do that, so we'll just pause before initiating that, because as I've mentioned before, if we're going to send passengers down the slides, there is a good chance people are going to be injured, so we need to make sure we're doing the right thing. If we have a failure after V1, then we have to continue to get the aircraft into the air. If it's an engine failure, we'll fly using the standard technique of 12.5 degrees pitch and following SRS, and I'll use rudder to counteract any yaw. Once the aircraft has a positive rate of climb, we'll get the gear up. I can trim out the yaw, and once we're trimmed, we'll engage the autopilot. We'll also pull the heading bug, as this is a standard engine out procedure airport, so we can pull the heading bug early, make sure we don't continue to fly the SID, and we can just hold nice and straight for the time being. Once we're at 400 feet, we'll confirm the failure, run the ECAM drill, and we'll confirm any guarded or engine switches, and we can move the thrust levers to toga. Actually, we're already going to be in toga, so forget that. We'll already be in toga as we're not doing a flex temp. So we'll leave the thrust levers there for the time being. Once the engine is secured and we've shut that down, if we've had an engine problem, and we're above the single engine acceleration altitude of 1,160 feet, we shall push to level off. We'll accelerate away, retracting the flaps on schedule, and then on green dot we'll pull open climb, set manual maximum continuous thrust. Once we're at 1,700 feet, we're going to make a right-hand turn to our holding point of Dirac. Inbound track is 325 and left-hand turns. Once we're in the hold, we'll then decide what we're going to do. But we'll probably return here, as we are below the maximum landing weight, and the weather here is pretty good as well. Okay, that's the emergency brief. That APU should now be up and running, so we can get rid of the external power. That's done. We'll tell him he can go away. There he goes. Right, how are these passengers doing? We've got 26 passengers remaining. So we've done our departure brief, we've done the emergency brief. At this point, we will get our air traffic control clearance. If air traffic control was online, sadly, they are not. But we can look at doing is make sure cockpit prep is all complete and then running that checklist. So I'm just going to check the fuel's all balanced up, which it is. I've already checked. We've got it is aligned. So cockpit preparation checklist to the line. Cockpit preparation is now complete. Signs are on and auto. ADIRS 3.5 green. Fuel quantity 7040 and set balanced. Flight management guidance system is all set in altimeter 1014. We'll wait for the last few passengers to get on board. Do you know what I am going to do? It's 32 degrees. Ouch. Let's cool the aircraft down. That actually feels rather realistic in my office at the moment. Evan 1 crew, has Jeff Bezos landed safely? Oh, well, that's good. All that money for 4 minutes in space. Jonathan, good afternoon. I am doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, we're just about set up here, so we're happy that you have closed the doors once everyone's on board, and we'll get going. Thank you.
Boarding is still underway, but we're almost done. It shouldn't take much longer.
Matt P, good afternoon, and it is indeed a scorcher. You're quite right. Dr. Magic pushed some of the aircon your way. I wish I could. If I had any, I would. Any real aircon, that is. Right, I think those passengers have just got on board. Fantastic, they're
Hello,
all done.
Captain. Everyone is now on board and we're all set back here. Doors are closed and everyone is seated.
Great stuff. Thank you very much.
Right, well now that is all done.
Cabin crew, we're about ready for pushback, so if you can use our little cross-check. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation up here. The cabin crew are making their final checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our Easyjetsimpilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with Easyjet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
Right, so that is indeed all done. Dr. Magic, we had planned runway 05. They may have changed in the last 10 minutes, which chances are if they have, they have. If they haven't, they haven't. They're certainly not using runway 11 and 29 because that is closed. I can simply double check the wind, make sure that that's all good. Wind is 180 at 2. Yeah, wind's light and variable, so the fact that there's nobody else around. We are on Unicom as well. Yeah, we are on Unicom VHF1. So yeah, there's no one else around us. We can continue with our departure on runway 05. However, we need to make that announcement for the pushback, don't we? Anyway, the pushback tug is in place. No steering is disconnected. Start the timer running. Acupressure is in the green. And standby on the transponder. Bordeaux traffic, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, stand Alpha 8, pushing back, facing west for taxi to runway 05. Before start checklist below the line, windows and doors are closed and armed. Rotating beacon light is on. Mobile phone is on silent and parking brake is on. We can now release. Pushing back, clear to start the engines then, so engine mode selected to ignition and starting engine 1. Oh, listen to this, guys. We've got actual engine sounds today on startup. How we missed those yesterday. I'm not going to apologise for the fact that you are going to hear me drinking copious amounts of liquid during this flight.
Procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with Easyjet.
Okay, so we've got positive good engine start on both of those. So engine mode selector to norm. APU bleed off, APU masters off, anti-ice most certainly not required. And we can get the weather predictive wind shear turned on as well. We'll also do the test for the flight controls in a second. Spoilers, rudder, flaps 1, and trim. Set. After start checklist. Anti-ice not required. Ecom status is all checked. Pitch trim 28.5, rudder trim set 0. Flight controls. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, rudder, full left, neutral. Tug driver is well out of the way, so the pushback is clear. We'll announce our taxi clearance. Bordeaux traffic, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, taxi now via Whiskey Echo 2 Papa to holding point Delta for runway 05 departure. Matthew Lebanon, thank you very much for your sub there. Not sure how accurate the taxi signs are here. So we'll just get on this nice straight taxiway. We'll then do our PEDS check which we can start now. QNH is still 1014, no change to the performance, still going to be a toga takeoff. Engine out procedure is standard procedure, so a right hand turn at 1700 feet to the Dimax holding point. Noise abatement 1 departure, so thrust reduction 1160 and acceleration 3160. Departure matches what we have on the FMGC. Stop altitude 7,000 feet. 7,000 blue is set. Before takeoff, checklist to the line. Flight controls are checked. Departure briefing is confirmed. Flap setting is config 1 FMA and takeoff data 133 blue, 138 magenta, climb nav blue, 7,000 blue, 1 FD 2 and toga. Crossing runway 2911, which is not in use. Transponder is set. ECA memo. Takeoff no blue. And the electronic flight bag is stowed. Is Nightbot telling us it's going to take 4 hours and 30 minutes to get there? Yeah, that's not right. Maybe he's flying the DC-6. Are we having a discussion about what the call sign is for Easyjet? Well, if it's a G-registered aircraft based in the UK, it is Easy. If it's a European registered aircraft, it's Alpine. If it's a Swiss registered aircraft, then it's Top Swiss. Well, what do we got? We're taxiing now up to the Delta holding point. Which transponder squawk do I use when there's no active ATC? I just leave it. I just leave it set at 7,000. It's the standard one. It's default. When ATC come online, they'll tell you to change it. We could actually leave it at 2,000, which is sort of a standby frequency, but no harm, no foul.
Cabin crew, seat for takeoff, please.
Okay, just stop at the holding line. We'll check those brake temperatures. They're actually really cool considering the outside temperature is 32 degrees. Not heard any other traffic on VATSIM, so that all looks fine. Let's get the lights on, we'll get the packs off, and then we'll announce our takeoff. Bordeaux traffic, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, departing runway 05 on the Vavix 5 Quebec departure. Before takeoff, checklist below the line, cabin is secured, engine mode select is normal, TCAS, T-A-R-A, and packs off, anti-ice is on. We want to get those packs on. Don't let me forget to put the packs back on. Not only will they melt, but obviously they'll start hyperventilating. Ah, too much brake pressure.
Air France 4 Unity 2, radio check.
Air France calling, reasonability 5 at Bordeaux. Okay, all looks good there. Side stick forward and start the chrono. Takeoff. That wasn't done in the right order. Should be takeoff, chrono, side stick. But never mind. Engine stable and takeoff thrust. Mantoga. SRS.
Air France 412, radio check.
And V1, rotate. Nav green.
Gear up.
Quite a nice straightforward departure today. It is literally just straight out. And set climb thrust. Thrust climb. SRS still. Pack 1. Set standard pressure. Flight level 070 blue. Pack 2. Chalty, no anti-ice required for today, mate. It's 32 degrees. There's no ice in sight. Autopilot 1 engaged. Climb green. I'll turn the ADF on. We've got it tuned in. We'll see that needle spin by in a second. Stu P, make sure that you're taxiing at idle. A little bit of thrust, then pull it back to idle. The aircraft will taxi out quite happily on idle thrust. Okay, no ATC around, so we're going to set a flight level of 200, flaps 1, spoilers disarmed, 200 blue. And we've got a nice right hand turn over Bordeaux coming up. Ah, that looks great, doesn't it? What a departure. Enjoying that view. Is that a particular football stadium down there? It says something on it, actually. Does it say something on it? Seven and a half thousand feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
So I'm passing 10,000 feet, we'll get those lights off. We've just turned off the no portable devices signs. Clear the radnav out, check the progress page, and flight level 350 is a go. So let's set flight level 350, which is our cruising altitude today, 350 blue. Freaky Jerry, did I load 2 tons of red wine cargo? Could have done. Well, everything is looking beautiful and stable in the air, so I see no reason why we should delay the seatbelt signs any longer. Off they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So there we go. Nice straightforward takeoff. Nothing too nothing too concerning with that one. No speed restrictions, nothing daft. Interactive Studio, yeah, it said, what was it? Matmut Atlantique. Is that a sponsorship, or is that a strange name for a football team, or is it a rugby team? Oh, is it an insurance company in France? Ah, right, there you go. Tom on Facebook, hello, hope you're well. And there's the end of our departure routing. Vavix, coming up about 22 miles away. And at 17,000 feet, everything still looking good. One thing I will check is if I go to the ATIS page, do we have any ATIS available for our destination airport? Just watching that fuel burn as well, it was nice and high. It was about 3 tons per engine a couple of moments ago. Brian Crawley, good afternoon. Becky Davis, you could be like our cabin crew, couldn't you? You just welcome everybody on board. It was great. Make sure you, when they do come on board, you send them left though. Don't send them right. There's no first class cabin back there. Passing flight level 200. That company message has now come through. Ah, there is ATIS available. Fantastic. ILS approach runway in use 03. Transition level 5,000. After landing, vacate via Hotel November. Well, we'll have a look at that in a little while. Good stuff. We might have ATC bringing us into Lisbon. Lisbon is an area in Portugal, obviously, that has quite a lot of air traffic control on the VATSIM network, quite often. So it'll be nice to catch up with that in a little while. Let's just set the standard pressure on the standby, 1013. And given the nice clear skies over Western Europe at the moment, probably have some decent views. Our flight routing today takes us pretty much, well, we're I was going to say more or less overland. We're all the way overland, so obviously you can see we're just coming down here to Vavix at the moment, and then on the border between Spain and France, so all the way across Spain into Portugal, and then down into Lisbon. Tom on Facebook says, thank you for the offline VATSIM tutorial. You're going to try that out tonight. Yeah, it's a great way to learn. Absolutely fantastic way to learn. So I've just seen what Willie's saying. So yeah, if you're on the stream and you could do me a huge favour, hit the like button for me. That would be fantastic. Would really appreciate that if you can. It is free, of course, but it really does help with the YouTube algorithms. So thank you for that if you've already done it. I think if I put I turned the fan on. I do have a fan in the office, but I was concerned if I put I left the fan on, you might end up just hearing a horrible noise on the on my microphone. Let me just pop it on. Let me know if you can hear this too much, guys. Yeah. So I've now got air blowing and circulating towards me, which is really nice. But I can turn it off if it's annoying. Or does it just blend in with the sounds of the jet aircraft? That doesn't look like a nice place to fly. Dr. Gregory House, we're on Unicom right now, but there is air traffic control in Lisbon coming up. Interactive Studio, is there a really big difference between the charts between Navigraph and a free solution like ChartFox? Yes, well, depends how old the chart is, really. You're going to find some discrepancies, more discrepancies the older the charts are. Willie, you kept the fan on during your live show. You didn't care. No, I don't blame you. Tom on Facebook says I should have used the fan yesterday at the departure airport. At least then you'd have heard something that sounded like an engine. Fair comment. So big thanks to all the guys that have recently just liked the stream on Facebook. Just checking if we've got some traffic around us. Where's my aeroplane? So I've got an aircraft and I can't work out how far he is behind me. It doesn't look too far behind, and we're obviously climbing flight level 350. I obviously don't want to just climb straight up into him, but presumably he's up there somewhere. These cirrus clouds can do one. They really muck up the frame rates. Can't see him. He might be too far behind, which is fine. Cookie Bob, would Easyjet tell you off for using Toga on takeoff? It's pilot's discretion. It's entirely what the pilot wants to do, but you really should be doing all you can to save fuel and noise. Airports don't like Toga takeoffs either. They're far too noisy. I may address which fly-by-wire version do I use. Also, how do we get the electronic flyback version for the fly-by-wire? So this is the developer version. The latest developer version, available to download now using the installer. You can't download this version through the marketplace. It has to be through the fly-by-wire installer. Charlie, if you can't hear the fan, that's good enough for me. Camera Bear, do I have autopilot problems in the Dreamliner? No, none at all, because I don't fly it. I wouldn't know where to... I've sat in the Dreamliner flight deck. I've sat and looked at it and gone, nah, there's far too many buttons to push. I like a nice streamlined flight deck like this one. Jay, how can you tell if an aircraft is taken off using toga? Or just normally? Or isn't there a difference in noise? There's probably a slight difference in noise because you're using less fuel, less percentage and power on the engines, but whether you can actually tell, you'd have to be some sort of expert, I guess. Matt P, is this version of the A320 completely stable? Well, I say it is, yeah. The version that I'm flying right now, absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm on VATSIM. I wouldn't dare fly anything on VATSIM that I wasn't 100% confident in. And that includes the pilot. So, I mean, you've switched the version. So, you've downloaded the developer version because you're telling me you've still not got the EFB. Have you previously downloaded the version from the marketplace? Because I'm finding a lot of people are having this problem. They're downloading the developer version. It appears nothing's changed. If you've downloaded a version from the marketplace, you need to delete that package as well. You can't have both. We're coming up on our cruising altitude now. What was I saying about nice views, as there was very little cloud around? Spoke too soon. Bravo Tango Zulu, we'll do a fuel check then. Mac Alt Star. And Alt Cruise, there we are, at our nicely at our cruising altitude.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, we'll be delighted to hear that we're now at our cruising altitude, and we hope to give you nice views throughout the flight as we have good weather ahead and shouldn't be experiencing any turbulence. Of course, this means that you will not spill any of your drinks that you may have from the cabin crew as they begin to start making their way around the aircraft. Could you please ensure that the aisles are kept clear so the cabin crew can offer you their cabin service, which will begin shortly. A reminder that Easyjetsimpilot channel members are able to access free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight.
So Amma, you just delete the A32NX. Well, yes, but it all depends whether you've got the package in, because if you've downloaded it through the marketplace, I've never downloaded anything through the marketplace, so I don't know if it's slightly different. Oh, Christian, I'm already on to you, mate. See, whilst you were thinking that, I'm already 3 steps ahead. I've got the TCAS on. I'm now doing the fuel check at Bravo Tango Zulu, which 90 minutes into the flight is more or less on time, and we should have for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, bang on 5.3 tons. So fuel burn is working very well. Engine bleeds. Cabin pressure's all good, both packs on. Electrics fine. Hydraulics 3000 psi on all of them. Fuel used 1 3/4 tons, which matches up nicely with the fuel we've got on board. No fuel leaks. APU obviously is off. 21 degrees in our cabin today, so that's nice. Doors all still armed. Brake temperatures nice and cold. All computers on, and everything else is normal. Perfect. Brian, I'm still using a P factor of +8 for flights such as this. Oh, Dark, see, there you go. That's the information you needed. If you've downloaded it from the marketplace, you have to uninstall it via the content manager. That's quite important. Sounds like we've got a Spanish guitar player on board, doesn't it? Well, we are over Spain now, I think. Archie Foster, you seem to be having a problem when taxiing. Even at full weight, I can keep accelerating when my physical throttle is at idle. Is this a setting I've done wrong? No, that's actually real world. The A320 will taxi under idle throttle and will speed up. So that is a real world thing. Nothing you've done wrong. So let's just quickly get some en route weather, starting with Madrid. Christian, no, I've not had that issue. So anyone else had the issue where the FlyByWire installer hangs upon finishing an update? All I could suggest is make sure you're running as administrator. Also have a look at Bilbao. Stu, Becky must be busking. Air hostesses on low wages. Tom on Facebook, yeah, if you're using, check the spelling of that, Smart Fox, is it? Not Shart Fox. So the AirX cycle will not be the latest, so sometimes stars will not match. That is very true. Oh, those clouds have cleared a bit now, that's good.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So with everything looking grand, there's a slight rock there to the wing. What winds have we got? Oh, they're not too bad. And on the OFP, what we can also check is we've just come down to the bottom here. And we want to check, make sure there's no daft weather. I don't think there is. I think it's quite a nice, clear day. Yeah, nothing to concern us. There's all our alternates showing. So with the fuel burn being quite accurate, we can do a landing calculation pretty soon. So we should be on the ground in around 1 hour and 1 hour 15 minutes, I think. Plenty of time to chill out on this afternoon flight today. And that is a nice view. So if you are in the UK, as I am, what are you doing to keep cool? Or have you just accepted the fact that you're going to be a sweaty mess for the next 3 days? I don't mind the occasional day of heat, but it's not even cooling down in an evenings at the moment, is it? Nate Dog 737, you can't wait for Microsoft Flight Simulator to come to Xbox. I am curious as to how that's going to work. I just think the amount of different things you have to push button-wise to make it work. I know you can get a mouse for Xbox now, can't you? Cookie Bob, you keep on being promised thunderstorms in the southwest of London. That wouldn't surprise me. Toby, you're sat by a large fan. Luckily, tomorrow you're in work. How many times have you said that in your life? Luckily, tomorrow you're in work because there's aircon. Shall I fix the Nightbot, who's lying to everyone saying it's going to be a 4.5 hour flight? Dark, you sat with 2 fans in your living room and next to the PC fans. Well, the PC fans aren't going to be kicking out cold air, are they? So, Amaju, you've got Rumbling Thunder 30 miles east of London at the moment. Lowski24 on Twitch, thank you for following. And Lowski, you've seen the tutorials on YouTube, but you didn't realise I streamed. I just lurk in the background on Twitch. I'm here occasionally. I'm probably right down at the bottom of the pecking order on Twitch. Willie, let you know what you think of the embroidered logo posting in the VIP lounge on our Discord server. Oh, okay. Let's have a quick look. Have you done that yet? I'll keep an eye out for that. Oh, I see it. Oh, wow, that's some snazzy artwork, isn't it? That's really good. I like that. You're going to have that made up and stuck to your jacket for the next Flight Sim convention. Max75, good afternoon. Yeah, there's some great freeware scenery for Bilbao and wonderful, as you say, wonderful approach. We landed there once. It was night time. Visibility was cack, and it was before autopilot worked. So we ended up going around because we just couldn't see the lights. Air traffic control was on online as well. Anthony S., good morning to you. Hopefully now, plain sailing all the way there. I'm just having a look as we get a little bit closer. So what have I got online? So I can see that we have... yeah, we've got Lisbon Approach is online and Lisbon Tower as well. Tom, you're going to start the barbecue. I can't think of anything worse than having to barbecuing, stood over a barbecue in this heat. Don't get me wrong, I do like a barbecue, but I think I prefer eating it rather than cooking it, and definitely cleaning it. Lowski, oh, am I streaming on YouTube as well? You were wondering who the heck I was talking to. Yeah. So if you are new to the channel, YouTube is where we're primarily based, really. But we do stream to Facebook and Twitch as well. We're just nowhere near as well known on those platforms. Tom, you think eating it later makes up for it? Well, yeah, that's true. So I think there is a small part of the flight where we just need to have a look at the MORA, minimum off-route altitudes. Box 116. Your EFB map has always been light background. Using the latest dev version, is there a setting button I'm missing to get the map to a dark theme? More than likely, I think it's just on the settings page. Hang on, let's go in and have a quick look. Mark, thank you for following on Facebook. Yeah, I did just see that lightning as well. That was shot across the sky. Let's just jump back into the flight deck. Go to that settings page. Is there a dark theme somewhere? Oh, I don't know then. That's interesting. I thought there was a light and dark theme available. What happens if you try and refuel when you're in the air? I'm not going to try it, but I sincerely hope that it doesn't let you. Mad Pilot, is there a way to delete the flight management computer? Do you mean the information in the flight management computer? You want to do a multi-sector flight and want to program the second leg. You can't program the second leg until you've landed. Once you've done that, it should be fairly straightforward. You just set it up as you do any other. Because you'll see, once we've landed, the McDo box will just reset itself. Chalter, that's some expert advice, isn't it? After exiting Microsoft Flight Simulator, let your PC cool down just on the desktop for 10 minutes before shutting down. Why? Genuine question, why? I'm actually interested. Why is the speed brake out? That's not going to help with fuel burn. I think I've just got a hardware issue. Just wanting my speed brake to come out. I, of course, do not want my speed brake to come out. Let's hope that's fixed it. No, still wants to come out. Can I do it manually? Oh no, I don't want to arm it. I just want to drag it up. David Dribble, hello. I'm very well, thank you. Seriously, speed brake, go away. I had this issue once before, and I thought I'd managed to fix it. Could be the fact that the room is heating up, so the tiny connections inside the lever that I use for it is sending duff information as it starts to make contact. Ah, sus, that is a good point, because the fans will cool it down while idling. Obviously, if you turn it off, the fans stop, don't they? Oh, great info. Pete Badman, hello from Australia. You think the fuel burn is quite high? You normally get around 800 to 900 per engine usually. What stage of your flight? And how high you're flying? Obviously, lots of different things determine that. Bear in mind, we're only flight level 350. We've also got a full load of passengers today as well. So latest weather in Lisbon as well. It's only 24 degrees in Lisbon. Mind you, I suppose it's on the coast, isn't it? Bad when you normally cruise around 330. Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Also depends as well what the ISA is. That makes a bit of difference to performance. And Roshan85TC, thank you for subscribing. Okay, I'm just going to nip back to the galley because I need to grab myself a cold drink. So I shall leave you in the capable hands of, well, nobody actually. I'll just be 2 or 3 minutes. Back in a moment. And back with you. Oh, nice cold drink. So hopefully I didn't miss too much. P. Badman, you aim for 4.2 kilograms per nautical mile. That's rather precise, isn't it? Canada Shack, good day to you. And Harm, you really love the VATSIM practice video. You've always been a little bit scared for VATSIM. Don't be scared, mate. You could log on to VATSIM right now. Come join me in the air in observer mode. No one would know you were there. Dr. Gregory House, a random bank to the left. I hope it wasn't. Nothing should be random. Tom Wrighton on Facebook, hello to you. Hope you're well. So, about an hour left before we're on the ground. I think, what was the flight time of this? 1 hour 37 minutes, I think. So my biggest tip, if you came here today to learn something, my biggest tip is when it's absolutely scorching, and if you don't like the hot weather like me, then I have two bottles, two 750ml bottles. I fill one with, I fill one up nice and early in the morning, put it in the freezer. A couple of hours later, you've got an ice block, more or less. And then as I drink that, I fill the other one, and I rotate them throughout the day. What I am interested to know is, how many of you actually like the hot weather? I know we've, well, where are we all from anyway? I know quite a lot of you on the chat today, roughly where you are in the world. But for anybody not in the UK is experiencing a week-long heat wave at the moment. We start to sweat when the temperature gets around 24 degrees. I think we're about 29, 30. So, yeah, it's warm. Too warm for me. I'm one of those that opens the windows overnight, every window I possibly can overnight, and then the following morning at around 7 AM I shut them all. Keep that hot air outside, keep the cool air inside, close the curtains, don't let the sunlight shine through. Christian, you like hot weather more than cold weather? See, I think I'm the other way around. Victor, or Texas, yeah, wow, I couldn't live there. Dr. Gregory House, you're in Hungary, so it's quite nice there. Oh, that's good. Fieber, you're in the country where we eat cheese and smoke weed. Barnsley. Simon McDonald, good afternoon. Brian, you've got AC in the house. Wow. Always freezing in the basement where the office is, so you wear a hoodie all the time. Canada Shack, I'm with you. 22-24 is beautiful. Anthony S, Australia. I would never visit Australia in the peak of your summer. I'd just melt, so I feel for you. Simon, you're in Oxfordshire where it's 38. Yes, I think that's roughly what it is where we are. Although the cloud's coming over now. I want to walk the dog at some point, but I can't take him far. Hamza Zibber, thank you for the sub. Welcome on board. About 300 miles to go then, let's start doing some stuff to prepare. There's an aircraft to the left of us. Can we see a contrail anywhere? I love it that we can now see contrails. So estimated fuel on board at the time of landing is 2.2 tons. What do we have at the moment? 4.2. So landing weight is going to be 61.9. Oh well, let's call it 62 tons. So if the landing weight is 62 tons, then what did the OFP have the landing weight out? Oh, I had it at 62.5 tons. Okay. The exotic melon. Hello from Southampton. Okay, there's the current METAR then for Lisbon, and as I said earlier, we're planning on arriving runway 03. Let's get some information up about runway 03 then, shall we? So, landing distance available for runway 03. Dum dum dee. Runway 03 is 3,670 meters. Approach speed, we'll guesstimate that for now at 130. Our landing weight 62. Well, let's do 62.5 tons. Let's be conservative. Flaps full. Don't need to run the overweight procedure. Reverse thrust, no. Runway altitude is 329, and runway heading is 026. Runway conditions dry, of course. Calculate. Beautiful. So we've got no problems landing. Don't even need auto brakes for this. And we're going to depart on the Hotel November taxiway, which, if we have a look, is quite easy to spot because you're vacating right or bearing off right after you've crossed runway 17. Mark Ring, is there an Easyjet VA? There used to be. I don't know if they're still around. Simon, can someone tell me why my frame rate is pants when you've got a £4,000 PC? I'm afraid we'd need a little bit more than that. Right, well, landing calculations done. That's fine. How are we going to do the approach? So I'm expecting the Exona 8 Alpha, although that might not be set in stone. ATC may change that. But if that is the case, at Exona we need to be below flight level 230. In which case, I want to start descending around about 40 miles away from Exona. Fuba, with the current market, my PC would be £4,000. I doubt it. Have you seen my specs? Anthony, is there a way you can change the maximum seats in SimBrief? Yes, there is. You have to edit the airframe, so you can do it. Madrid radar are online. I don't know if they're going to give us a ping a little bit later. Oh! They've only just come online. How good is that? 13375. Alright, let's give them a call in a minute. Madrid radar, good afternoon, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, flight level 350, inbound REDAF.
906, hello, Scope 4432.
4432, Spanish 906.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, hello, Scope 4474.
4474 for Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee.
Madrid radar, hello, Airport 844, level 3811.
Portugal 8 Foxtrot, hello, Jet 25, continuous 5.
Room Martins, yeah, runway 35 is not used as runway anymore, it's now used as a taxiway. Interestingly enough, even on the charts, one second, it's still labelled as a runway.
Madrid, buenas tardes, Volotea 35 X-ray.
So I think we've now got air traffic control all the way into Lisbon.
Volotea 35 X-ray Charlie, hello, Jet 25, Instagram with 29ers, Sonda 1 Charlie.
Sonda 1, correction, Sonda 1 Charlie, runway 29er for Volotea 35 X-ray Charlie.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee,
In
continuous
just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service.
Continuous
offering you the
file,
chance to
Alpine
purchase from
15
our
Kilo
selection
Yankee.
of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Channel 7 Juliet November, hello, Jet 25, continuous 5.
Nomika, I used the developer version of the FlyByWire.
15 Kilo Yankee, contact Lisbon 125.55.
125.5, thanks for the service, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Lisbon Control, good afternoon, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, flight level 350, inbound Adino.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, good afternoon, control identified, flight level 350. Expect the Exona 8 Alpha arrival, runway 03.
Expect Exona 8 Alpha arrival runway 03, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee.
Lisbon, hello, primary 509 Quebec, runway heading, passing 2,000 feet.
Premier 509 Quebec, good afternoon, Lisboa Control, you're at 5 passing 2,000.
So that's the style that we planned for Exona 8 Alpha, so we can go ahead and continue planning for that. Pete Babbitt, no, I never have any issues in this aircraft. Thank goodness.
Lot 970, Lisboa. Lot 970, stop climb, flight level 340.
So let's continue
flight level,
now with a full brief. So, Exona, we're going to expect to be below flight level 230 at...
And Alpine 5-1 Kilo Yankee, proceed direct Exona.
Direct to Exona now for Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. We'll do that brief in a moment.
Express 5 to look back, request arrival information report 750. Have a nice flight.
125 miles away then from Exona.
Lufthansa 1549er, contact Madrid.
I also want to get the weather as well, so we can start getting that into the performance page. There we go. Yes, so Exona max speed 280 knots. Then we're planning to be down 4,000 feet by Pessex.
Far nav approach runway 35, and you may proceed direct Akulu.
So transition altitude here is 4,000 feet. Platform altitude is also 4,000 feet. Minimum safe altitude 3,000 feet is where we're going to be coming in. And it's going to be a Cat 1 approach. Runway visibility is above 750 meters, 529.
3,000 feet. Climb flight level 370.
109.1 the ILS frequency.
370.
Runway altitude is 329. And missed approach straight ahead to flight level 070. Marnock, you tried inserting a direct during a flight and it erased the entire flight plan. Occasionally that does happen. Occasionally it does happen. Cookie Bob, will I be getting the Phoenix 320 when it's out? Am I excited about it? It looks fantastic. It really, really does. We'll just wait for more information.
Lisbon, Premier 509 Quebec. We'd like to step away for 2 to 5 minutes. I'd like to grab some stuff real quick.
Premier 509 Quebec, no problem. Report back in flight deck.
Alright, Premier 509 Quebec, thank you.
I expect ATC to give us a descent clearance pretty soon, or rather an altitude to descend to, or a flight level to descend to, and it'll leave it up to us when we start descending. So yeah, around 40 miles from Exona, I expect that. QNH then is 1016. Temperature is 24. Ooh, that sounds nice. Wind 310 at 10. Bit of a crosswind landing. Transition altitude 4,000 feet. And the decision altitude is going to be 529. That was a good guess of the approach speed, wasn't it? Right from page 10.8 of Navigraph charts for Lisbon, first line you can read the conversion, it's now taxiway Tango. Why don't they update the chart to tell us that? This is the one you're referring to. What will be interesting then is if this is now being converted, they can't use this to taxi on. So we're going to be taxiing down here onto Hotel November. We'll then taxi down on presumably Uniform 4 to well, Area 7. The alternate route is Whiskey Romeo. So Whiskey Romeo and then Romeo 1 Quebec 3, so we can probably cross here then by the looks of things. I just need to be aware of that once we're on the ground. Pete Badman, where do I get my decision altitude from? So that's on the ILS chart itself, right down at the bottom. So we're doing a Cat 1 approach, 529. Really, yeah, I did read the first line at the top. Thank you. What will be interesting is to see if they're carrying out the work at the specific times of days. The Space Channel, to get an ILS chart you need subscription to Navigraph, or you can sometimes find them free available on the
Primary 509 Quebec is back.
on the internet.
Primary 509 Quebec, roger, thank you.
Okay, the reason I put PESX in there is that's the clearance limit for the approach, and we want to be at 4,000 feet at PESX.
Sun Express 5, Zulu Quebec, descend 4,000 feet, QNH 1017.
Descend 4,000, Sun Express, Sun Express, Zulu Quebec.
Sun Express 5 Zulu Quebec,
Right, see,
QNH 1017.
what's the ladder symbol on the airport chart below Hotel November? Do you mean the stop bars? 1 second, let me see if I can pull that up for you. Yeah, so these are the little stop bars. So as we vacate Hotel November, we need to continue rolling until we've crossed this stop line here. So we don't stop there, we have to cross the stop line. Otherwise, another aircraft could land after us and smack into us because we've not got out of the way. We've got traffic on TCAS, but he's 1,000 feet below us, so that should all be fine. Can we see him anywhere? Simon, you've just replaced the camera file in the fly-by-wire folder in Community. Not sure that's going to work, Simon. You don't need to touch the camera files in the fly-by-wire folder. Did anybody see that aircraft? He's gone now. Raphael, this is the first time on this channel and you like it. Great stuff.
Traffic 7 Juliet November, good afternoon, this is Report Control, identified level 370, proceed direct takeoff. Lot 970, climb flight level 360.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Stu P, you wish you had the nerve to fly on VATSIM. Did you check out the latest video that I uploaded around practicing on VATSIM? Check that out if not. Hopefully that should help you. So we're about 40 miles away now, which is where I plan to do my top-up descent if air traffic control hadn't been around. So we'll just give them a couple more minutes, and if not, we'll request our descent. The fact they had traffic beneath me as well a while ago
Lot 970,
might keep us high.
Control on 133.750. Bye-bye, have a nice flight.
Pete Mosley, good afternoon. Jennifer thought, what's the test you need to pass to get on VATSIM like? I don't know, I didn't have to do it. It's quite new. They brought it out when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out. To separate the men from the boys. I guess. I don't know. I think they just thought they needed to do something. Otherwise everybody would be joining it without actually reading rules.
No problem. Report back in the flight deck.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, request descent.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee descent, flight level 200.
Flight level 200, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again.
Thrust idle open descent 200 blue.
Starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the eyes are clear, the cabin crew...
Express 50 Kilo, you are clear for the RNAV approach runway 05, report to field in sight.
That would be most appreciated.
Then clear for RM 35, and could you confirm it's 35?
Free drinks are still available.
Express 50 Kilo, yes, confirm runway 35.
Please, RM 35, will report and runway inside, and Express 5 to Luxembourg.
Christian, did you have to do the test? Special, have I heard of FlyFS 2021? I think I've heard of it, I've no idea what it is. Certainly not tried it. So now we're on our way down. We're going to keep an eye on our profile. And at the moment we're looking pretty spot on. Max speed, however, of 280 knots at Exona, so I need to be aware of that. Unless ATC gives us free speed.
Flight 24 Tango, good afternoon, Lisbon Control. You're identified passing 2,500 feet. Climb flight level 340 and proceed direct to Phoenix.
340, direct to Phoenix, Ryanair 24 Tango.
The land down there must be absolutely burning hot. So let's pop the constraints on, and now we can start to see our approach coming into Lisbon. Check the ILS 109.1. That's correct. And I was also just checking to see if there's any sort of VORs on our approach. I don't think there is. There's the Lisbon VOR, which is to the north of the airfield. We can pop that in just for a little bit of awareness. $65 miles away. So passing flight level 250, and we can now look to just slow us down a little bit, like max speed 280, as we come towards Exona, 8 miles away. And track, good afternoon to you, hope you're well. So we've done the weather and landing information, we've got all that. FMGC is coded, landing elevation is confirmed 329, auto brake we've checked, not required. We've done our arrival and taxi briefing. We don't need the terrain radar on. Standby, let's get that set to the local pressure, which is 1016. Ecam status is all checked and looking fine. We'll get the seatbelt signs on in a little bit. So what's the plans for everybody tonight? Are you just going to sit out, chill, and try and cool down? I'm talking like everyone in the chat is from the UK. I know you're not, but if you are in the UK, is that the plan? That's my plan. Right, 52 miles now to Azad. Or Ad-Sad. Sam, does the aircraft stick to the constraints yet, or is it still flying manual? So, no, it sticks to the constraints, but it's the rate at which it will descend and climb your aircraft that's not realistic. Ruel, that's a good tip. The ESP VOR is on the final approach. It's at the same waypoint as Godgi. That's okay. I actually just wanted one closer to the airport. At the end of the day, if we'd got a VOR that was near Pessex, that would have been quite cool. Right, that's flight level 200. Is he going to hold us at this altitude for a while now?
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, descend flight level 100.
Flight level 100, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Thrust idle open descent, 100 blue.
Ryanair 24 Tango, yeah, no problem, reports back in the flight deck.
Space Channel, can I fly the 747? Nah. I'm a dude, you've got heavy hail showers now. Did you say you were somewhere down near London? Jans Conrad, when you fly at your cruising altitude, your plane's rocking left and right. Have you got the fly-by-wire mod installed by any chance? If not, I recommend it.
Sweet.
Brian, is it your birthday today? Or are you just going out for a birthday dinner? Happy birthday to Brian Dyer. That'll be the catering company wondering what food I want on arrival.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you may have noticed that we've just begun our final descent into our destination. If you could now assist the cabin crew by tidying up your tray table and handing them any litter as they come around, that would be most appreciated. For safety reasons, we ask now that you please turn off all electronic devices or switch them to airplane mode until after we have landed. Please note that the aircraft toilets are now out of use. If you wish to become a Easyjetsimpilot channel member, please contact a member of your cabin crew who will be happy to assist you. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed your flight.
Shanez, make sure you've got the latest developer build, and make sure you remove any other mods that you may have, aircraft mods that is, whilst you fly. They can interfere sometimes. Alright, so we just passed flight level 160, let's get those seatbelt signs on, and the no portable devices signs too. Let's run the approach checklist. Minimums are set both sides, engine mode select a normal, electronic flight bag is stowed, and we've briefed the approach.
The captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seats and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are travelling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt provided. The toilets will now go out of use until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned on. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Air Trooper 37, good afternoon to you. Is it as warm where you are as it is here? I bet it is. We're only at about 29 degrees.
An express flights will look to make me have to run the inside.
It's an Express 5 Zulu Kilo, the wind's 3109 knots, runway 35, you're clear to land.
Split land, 35, thanks, flight to the Quebec, thank you.
Rafael, we're going to pass your house. You live near the Humberto Delgado Airport. Nice.
Chinese 7 Juliet November, go ahead.
Are we okay to step away for about 10 minutes?
Chinese 7 Juliet November, confirm no problem, report back
So
to
I'm
the
just
flight.
going to go speed and 1,500 feet per minute. Just slow that descent rate down. Thomas Frost, no, the weather radar is working
Alpine
perfectly.
15 Kilo Yankee, descend flight level 70 and proceed direct Papa Tango 422.
Flight level 70, direct Papa Tango 422, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. 070 Blue,
194 Tango, roger, thank you.
and let's hope this doesn't erase the flight plan. There we go. So we just pulled the speed bug back as well. Coming up on 10,000 feet, I'm a little earlier, but let's get those lights on whilst we're thinking about that.
Air Portugal 1438, you're about to leave my airspace. You need to come 122 decimal 8, Opel at Zebra.
128, Typical 148,
Anthony S, I use SimBrief. I don't touch the flight planner. Air Trooper, the problem that I had with the cockpit was nothing to do with fly-by-wire. It happens on the default as well, I think.
Lisbon, primary 509 Quebec.
Primary 509 in Quebec, yep, welcome back. Expect the Lidro 1 Papa arrival for the RNAV runway 05.
Lidro 1 Papa for the RNAV runway 05 approach for...
So we're also going to activate the approach phase now, so that that's done.
And actually, can we get a descent now? My copy descent is bugged.
Oh, I forgot about that little bug. Let's go back to Papa Tango 422.
350 miles from your destination, shouldn't be descending for another 45 minutes or so.
It's not going to let me do that, is it? Right, okay. In that case, we'll just stay in heading mode.
Secondary displays bugged in terms of displaying information to me. I need an altitude to set, or else I won't be able to descend.
So, you want me to let you know, or you want to descend now?
Just let me know when to descend.
Roger, no problem.
Before 5 to the Quebec request, continue to stand and vacate to 35.
So we're going to need to start slowing down now, otherwise we're going to be a little bit tight in this turn. I just need to check if we've got any speed restrictions.
Sierra 37.
Objecting to Sierra 37, Sun Express 5 to the Quebec.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, any speed restrictions for us?
Blocked.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, any speed restrictions?
Level 60, climb flight level 340.
Climbing flight level 340, Ocean 117.
Alpine 15 Quebec Yankee, descend to 3,000 feet, QNH 1016, and fly heading 280.
Heading 280, descend 3,000 feet on the 1016 QNH. Any speed restrictions for us?
Alpine 15 Quebec Yankee, no speed restrictions.
Roger, and we're starting to slow down now. Thank you, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Okay, so let's start slowing that aircraft down a little bit.
Gravity 2406, good afternoon, Lisbon Control. You're identified passing 3,600 feet, climb flight level 340, and proceed direct to Tosby.
Direct Tosby, level 340.
Looks like we may be chasing this glide slope from above. I'm just aware of that as we're starting to slow down, so we're going to start getting flaps and maybe the gear out a little early because we're only 30 miles away.
Alitalia 1925, you with me?
Cabin crew, about 15 minutes to landing, giving cabin, thank you.
So I've got some speed brakes out as well just to help with that. And flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1.
And Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, turn right heading 360, you're clear of 40 ILS approach runway 03, report established.
Right heading 360, clear ILS approach runway 03 and we'll report established. Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So we're just going down to meet that glide slope, as you can see.
Your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for
Lock
landing.
blue.
Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Landing gear is down.
Alitalia 1925, welcome back. Proceed direct to Minka.
And flaps 2, speed checked. Flaps 2.
Thanks for trying to move Pushback. Thank you very much for the service. Have a nice and a great day. Bye-bye.
Take care, bye-bye.
Glide slope style lock start. We're still high at the moment. Kind of a bit of a slam dunk approach, this one.
And Alpine 15, Kilo Yankee, contact Lisbon Tower 118 and small and have a nice landing, bye-bye.
Over to tower, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Tower, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, runway 03, established 6.5 miles.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, Lisbon Tower, hello, good afternoon, sir, wind 330 degrees, 1 around, variable distance 290 degrees, runway 03, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 03, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Flaps 3. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin secured for landing. Auto thrust speed. Go around altitude 7000 blue. Set. ECAM memo landing. No blue. That's a lie. In fact, all of that was a lie. Should we do that again? Landing checklist. Cabin is now secured for landing. Auto thrust speed. Go around altitude 7000 set. ECAM memo landing. No blue.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
So I expect that wind to hopefully drop off, but we've got a nice crosswind coming in at the moment.
$1,000.
1,000 feet. Autopilot 1 and 2 off. I have control. This is rather bumpy. I've also got a replay lined up at the end of this, so you can stick with me for that. Oh, Christian, I'm sure HD will catch up with me. He has a habit of doing that. Kind of a false horizon there with the terrain in the distance. This is a very bumpy approach. I don't know how well this is coming across on the stream, but trying to nail that centre line is proving rather difficult with the crosswind.
100 above. 300. Minimum 200.
Keep a bit of positive left aileron in there.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Down we go. Spoilers deployed. Reverse green. Positive decel. $70 knots, reverses off. Vacate right onto Hotel November.
Lisbon Tower, KLM 442, approaching Mike 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain
Line up
seated
runway
until the fasten
03,
seatbelt
KLM
sign has been
422.
switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the
Over to
seat
ground
pocket,
now. Thanks for the
underneath seat,
service.
and in the
Alpine 15
overhead
Kilo
lockers.
Yankee.
Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain,
Maintain runway heading,
it's been our pleasure to
climb
welcome you
flight
today.
level 60,
Our ground crew will
KLM
help you
422.
complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Ground Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Vacated runway 03 on uniform 4.
Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee, Lisbon ground, hello, welcome to Lisbon, taxi by uniform, Quebec, Mike, Zulu, to stand 202.
Continue on uniform Quebec Mike Zulu to stand 202, Alpine 15 Kilo Yankee. Right, so uniform and Quebec. So straight across. Looks like a few planes waiting to depart as well. So as I say, once we get there, we'll get the replay queued up. We'll not start the APU just yet. Try and save fuel. So this is the runway that they're currently turning into a taxiway now. And we're going to take this next left, which is Quebec. We'll get a better look at that landing from a passenger perspective once we've parked up and shut down. So now all the way down here to the very end, then on to Mike. I think we're going to run this bus over, aren't we? Well, I'm not getting out of the way. That bus doesn't even have a driver. Phantom bus.
One is ready for taxi.
American taxi via Zulu 3, Mike 5 to Hanoi 03.
Zulu 3, Mike, hold your point, Mike 5.
Multigames X, yeah, I'll show you the replay once we've taxied and landed. Sorry, taxied and parked. We've already landed. The windsock blowing with that crosswind. Slightly challenging conditions this evening. Right, so we're now crossing here and then on here, and it is Zulu that we're going to be taking. Now, trying to find out where stand 202 is could prove problematic. Brian, you wonder if smoke effects and waterworks will come with the next update. It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Aircall 090, contact now, tower and frequency 118.105. Have a nice flight, bye-bye.
So stand 202, from what I gather, is pretty much straight on here. So we're kind of guessing a little bit. We've not even got any taxi lines, so let's just try and park it where we would imagine a taxi line to be, in front of the tug driver. So around about there, I reckon. Okay, so normally we would have started the APU. We're not going to bother with that because we're going to put a replay on. We are actually parked in the right place because the external power is lit up, so we know we've done something right. Okay, so I'm going to come off VATSIM now, so wave goodbye to the traffic there. Thank you very much to the controls on VATSIM. Off we go. Let's have a look at this replay then, shall we? So we'll just give this a second to load. Cancel the warnings. And we'll just speed this up a little bit
2,500.
for the last little part of the landing. Oh, there we go. So hopefully now you'll get a better view from a passenger perspective. Willie, hope you've had a great day. Thanks for stopping by, Willie. We'll speak to you again very soon. I do think the scenery here, default scenery of course, here in Lisbon is very, very good. Christian, you have to water the flowers in the garden. Have fun. See, this isn't one of the photogrammic areas, is it yet? And it's fantastic. It looks really, really good. And there you can see a little bit of the wind buffeting the aircraft. I used to land at Lisbon quite a bit in FSX on VATSIM. It never looked like this. It never looked this good. I'd take that landing. Centerline, landing zone. And with the crosswind thrown in as well. No problems with that. We can now quickly just have a look at the city from the other side as we come in. I love that roadway intersection. That's stunning, isn't it? That really is neat to see. Yeah, to say this isn't one of the cities which has got photogrammetry, this is a very detailed looking part of the flight simulator world. If anyone lands in Lisbon on a regular basis in the real world, I'd be very interested to see how well you think this looks, how well it represents it. Keep admin, it's 2 AM where you are. Wow, can't you sleep? Carlos, it leads to where you live, does it, that road? Multigames X, is this your city? Does it look good? I think this is stunning for default scenery. Really does. As Carlos just taking the words out of my mouth, it does it justice. And then you can just see the parking stand where we parked. Right guys, well, hope you all enjoyed that. That's me done for the day. I'm going to go and have an ice bath somewhere. It's blooming boiling in here, and that PC is... I can't even touch that. That's... Ooh, that's burning. We definitely need to shut that down. Thank you very much to everybody who's enjoyed the stream and watched as we did the flight today from Bordeaux to Lisbon. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Big thank you as always to the Easyjetsimpilot channel members and to those of you that have donated and contributed to the stream's upkeep. I look forward to seeing you on the next flight, and I'm going to leave you with one last replay taking us out all the way in as per usual. Hope you guys all have a great day, and if you are in the UK like me, hope you manage to stay all nice and cool somehow. I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.